Have you ever tried armadillo eggs? If you haven't, you are seriously missing out. They are one of my favorite barbecue dishes. They've got such an amazing combination of flavors. You can get as creative as you want with them. You definitely want to stick around for this video because I'm going to show you how to make armadillo eggs. All right, so whatever barbecue you're using, set it up for indirect cooking. We're going to be using the Oklahoma Joe's Rambler today. We'll get started by taking off the cooking grates. Then we'll lift our charcoal grate right up. We'll get some firelighters going. And I'll get about a quarter full chimney of charcoal on. All right, so that charcoal is going to be about 10 to 15 minutes before it's ready. So we're going to use that time to start preparing these armadillo eggs. All right, so we're going to start with some green jalapenos. Use as many or as little as you like. We're going to use 1 green jalapeno per armadillo egg. We're just going to start by chopping the tops off, and then we're going to take the core out. You want to be very careful when you're doing this. You want a more longer, skinnier knife. You want to sort of work your way around the core, then use the tip of your knife to sort of scrape it out, just like so. And then any seeds that are in there, just get your knife in there, scrape it around a bit, and then you can bang out any seeds that are left in there until you're left with a nice hollow green jalapeno like so. So I'll go ahead and quickly do this other one. And now our jalapenos are ready. All right, so our charcoal is still about 5 minutes away, and what I like to do with armadillo eggs is I'll pre-cook the jalapenos first just to soften them up a bit. But we can't do that until our charcoal's ready. We do have a few more things to prepare for when we put these armadillo eggs together, so let's get stuck into it. All right, so you can go ahead and get your favorite cream cheese ready. We're gonna be using some sweet chili Philly, and what I like to do to make life easier when I'm filling jalapenos with cream cheese is I'll get a snap lock bag and I'll fill that up with our cream cheese. And we can seal it up and we can squish our cheese around just to loosen it up a bit. And then when it comes time to fill our jalapenos with the cheese, we can just snip a corner off and pipe the cheese straight into our jalapenos. All right, so you can put the cream cheese back in the fridge until we're ready to use it. And then you want to get your favorite flavored sausage. We're using some Italian pork sausages. These have got some chili, fennel, and garlic in there. I'm just going to remove the skin. Put it in a bowl, and typically you'll use around 2, maybe 2.5 sausages per armadillo egg. All right, so that's 5 sausages there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it together and then divide it up into 2 even portions. And basically what we're going to do with our jalapenos is we're going to insert them into the middle of this mix, and then we're basically going to wrap this sausage mince around our jalapenos. So I reckon this charcoal is just about ready, so we'll have a look. We'll put this in the fridge for now and we'll come back. All right, so our charcoal's ready. I'm just going to dump it in on the right side of our cooker, and then I'm just going to put 1 cooking grate on for now. I'm going to slide it over the top of the charcoal. Then we'll just quickly cook our jalapenos directly on top of that charcoal for a few minutes until they've softened up. All right, it's been a few minutes. Our jalapenos have softened up nicely. You don't want them to completely soften. Just a little bit. They'll go the rest of the way during the next part of the cooking process. So for now, we'll shut our lid and finish putting together these armadillo eggs. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll snip a corner of our snap lock bag off. We can fill our jalapenos with the cream cheese mix. Just like so. And then we'll get our sausage mince. We'll flatten it out. We'll place our jalapeno in the middle, and then we'll just wrap that sausage mince around. Now, if you think you've got too much mince, you can always just take some off like so, and then just continue to work the mince around the jalapeno. Then just form it into a nice egg shape. Then we'll get this other one done. Then you want to lay out a rasher of streaky bacon, and then wrap our sausage mince up in that. Just like so. Then for good measure, we're just going to season the outside with some of our steak shooter rub. And now these are ready for the barbecue. All right, so we're sitting nicely at 300 Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius, which is exactly where I want to be. So we'll open our lid up. We'll move this cooking grate across. We'll drop our charcoal grate down. I've got a beautiful little chunk of cherry wood. I'll put straight onto the charcoal. Then we'll get the armadillo eggs on this side. We'll shut our lid and we'll let these smoke away. All right, so now our armadillo eggs are on. You just want to take them until that bacon has become nice and crispy and the sausage mince has cooked through. Normally they take around 45 minutes. So all we need to do now is just maintain that nice temperature I spoke about before. Make sure you've got some nice clean smoke coming out of your chimney stack, and we'll come back once these are ready. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes. These are done. Have a look at that. Bacon's nice and crisp. That mince is cooked through, so let's get them out. Alright, so I'm just going to cut one open and then we'll let it cool down for a minute. Then we'll have a taste. That is going to be super tasty. We'll come back to try it. Alright, I've just cut one in half again. Time to taste. Seriously, they are so unbelievably tasty. An awesome combination, a good spice kick. You can get as creative as you want with them. You can use a different type of sausage, a different cream cheese. You can base some of your favourite glaze over the top of them. It's up to you, but you've seriously got to try them. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. That's the end of the video, so thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.